Hi everyone, I'm Glenn Flair from Boardgames Bourbon. Right now we're going to talk about Ospreys game Sakura, which just came out. It's made by Reiner Knizia. It says that it takes 20 to 40 minutes to play. That is correct, 2 to 6 players and 10 and over, but you could probably go younger. It's really not that hard. This is a beautiful game with a beautiful production, with a gameplay that is very easy to understand. There is tactic involved, but there's a lot of luck so you can feel lighthearted and not take a loss too seriously. My overall impression of it is it's a 1960s Jaguar. So let's take a look at the gameplay and I'll tell you my final thoughts. Okay everyone, so the first thing I want to show you here is actually what makes this game so incredibly endearing. So I'm starting with the box here, and what's going to happen is I'll open it for you and show you the insides. First thing when you look at it, you notice what gorgeous art there is on the box. It is throughout the game, it surrounds the whole box. The box itself is even tactile and matte finished. It's really great. We go ahead and we open the box. It opens up like a book. Fantastic. All of the pieces fit really nicely and carry on the theme. These are the instructions, a little promo. Here's the board of the game, fits so tidy right in the game. And then right underneath it, all the cards, the chits, the pieces are all in a nice little holder that keeps it nice and tidy. And even these feel great in the hand. The cards themselves, I'll show you what they look like. They fit right in the hand. Gorgeous art, matte finish, easy symbols. Wonderful to interact with. The pieces over here, wooden, covered in paint. They feel great in the hand and totally are in keeping with the game itself. The beautiful little chits that you're going to use. Again, they're like little blossoms here moving with the theme of the game. It is awesome. Okay, so now let's actually do a setup and see how it's played. Alright guys, so right now what I did is I set up the game to kind of emulate an early stage setup of the game. In this one here we have 5 players, and every player has their own color on the board. Now the reason the cards are laid out in this order is that the cards are laid out according to what number is in this bottom row. What happens is every player is going to get 5 cards, and then from those cards you select one. You turn it face down, then you all reveal. They are ordered according to the number at the bottom, and then they take effect. Now in this game, the purpose is to score the most points, and you score the most points by being closest to the emperor while being behind when the emperor reaches certain dark circles in the yard. So he starts over here in this light circle, then he moves over here, and the story is you're painting a picture while he's smelling the blossoms. Isn't that wonderful? So here's a scoring point, here's a scoring point, and here's a scoring point. So there's really 3 scoring rounds of the game. You might also notice on this bush, there's different numbers. The person who's closest gets 3, the person who's second closest gets 2, the third 1, and the next person gets 1 point as well. Okay, and that is what you're trying to do. You have 5 cards, you choose one, you play it, and then you see what happens. Now, where's the strategy in the game? Well, you know, early on, there's really no strategy in picking out your cards, but as you're getting closer to the scoring, you might want to be as close as you can. You really make a push, because if you have a low number card, you are going to go first. Also, there's a tricky rule that says if your card puts the emperor on a scoring spot, your card is used, but everyone else's gets wiped away, okay? All their cards are void. Another little interesting rule in the game is, as you're moving, you can't land on another player. So if this person was to move 3 and go 1, 2, 3, they're jumping over each other, okay? You can't land where other players are. However, you can land with the emperor. And if you land with the emperor, you actually get penalized. You're going to lose a point, and you have to move back 3 spaces, okay? And that's it. That's really the extent of the rule. So let's see how a turn plays out if I use these cards in front of me. Well, okay, so the white player is going to go first. And what is this saying here? Well, on their card, they go first because you have the number 4. It says the emperor can move up or backwards 1 point, and then you yourself, because the circle means you get to move as many players as are between you and the emperor. That's what this little symbol means, the little plus people. So what do we do here? Okay, well, I'm going to be strategic. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the emperor onto the green player, move it up, boop. Now, because they're on the same spot, he's going to be penalized. So he loses a green token. You start with 5, and then it kind of goes up and down from there. And now he has to go back 3. So he's going to go back 1, 2, cannot land on the white spot, so he goes back here, 3. Okay, that was this turn taken care of. Now it is the green player's turn. What does the green person say? Well, their card, they go next because they're number 18. And it says the red arrow means the person in the back, the furthest person, moves up 2. And then the green player themselves moves up 3. Okay, so this person is going to move up 2. 1, skip over because you can't land there. 2, okay, it's right there. And now the green gets to move 3. So it's going to go 1, 2. You won't believe this. Oh my gosh. Landed on the Emperor again. So you would actually lose another token at this point, okay? And then you got to go back 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Wow. You really got hosed there, Mr. Greenie. All right, let's go to the pink player. So the pink player next in order is number 35. Let's see what this card says. Okay, and this says that the Emperor is going to move back 1, but now this jumpy symbol means you jump directly in front of the person in front of you. So the Emperor moves -1. You are going to jump over the person in front of you, and this is the pink player. Okay, so the Emperor is going to move back 1. Whoop. And now the pink player is going to jump in front of the person, but because you can't land on anyone else, this pink person actually moves all the way right here and is actually in a prime position to be right next to the Emperor and be in lead when the scoring occurs. Okay, that worked out really well for that person. Let's take a look at the blue player. Let's get this card over here and try not to bend it too much, which is usually what I like to do with cards. This one here says the Emperor is going to move forward 1, and then I get to choose to move up or down 3. Okay, so what will I do? I'm going to move the Emperor 1. Boom. And I think what's really going to behoove me is to move up 3. It's going to get me in the running. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go 1. I can land on the Emperor, so that's 2. And then 3, I'm going to be right there. Wow. Okay, maybe I'm in the danger zone because I'm really near the Emperor, but at least I'm going to be really close when the scoring occurs. Okay, and now it is going to be the red player's turn. Last player on the board. And this says that the closest person goes back 2. And then I move up 1 as the red player. So the closest player in this world to me is the blue person. 1, 2, all the way back. Well, that didn't last very long. And then as the red person, I get to move up 1. All right, Humpty Dumpty, you're still in the back there. Okay, so after 1 round, that was it. You would now discard these cards, and you would pick 1 more, and then from your new hand of 5, pick 1 card again and keep going. When this person finally gets here, in this situation, the pink player would have gotten 3, this would have gotten 2, green would have gotten 1, and blue would have gotten 1 as well there. You'll notice 3 of the numbers are in kind of like a lighter background. This one is not. That's because it changes with player count, okay? And basically you just do that all the way until over here, okay? And that's the end of the game, and that's how easy it is. Okay, so here are my final thoughts, and we'll start with decisions. So with decisions, I give it a 6.5 out of 10, and that's to say, I would say in the typical game that I like, I love Elder Sign and all these different games. You have meaning and determination in what you're doing. And I would say I would give those games anywhere from a 7 on up to maybe a 9, 8.5. But in this game, it's a lighter choice. And for the first few moves, you're not really sure what you want to do. You're placing cards. You're just feeling everything out. It's not until you're getting near the score markers that you're like, okay, I really got to go first, so I'm going to play a lower card. I really want to make sure that the Emperor isn't moving forward too quickly, and different things like this. So it's at that point that you really start getting decisive in what you do, and that's when the card play comes in. So that decision making, 6.5 out of 10. The build of the game, oh, fantastic. From the art on the box to the box itself, to the carved pieces, to the very tactile feel, to the cards that are rich and silky and matte in your hand, to the artwork on the cards, which are great. If anything, the board is as impressive as it is probably the weakest part of the game, and it's not weak. It reminds me almost like of an Easter egg hunt in terms of its color. It's a little bit more pastel than the rest of it, but it's a fantastic production. Nothing has been left unthought of. I give it 10 out of 10. The art on it is in the upper echelons of art that I see in games. It is tasteful. It is refined. It is regal in a way. Very much when I said earlier that this game reminds me of a 60s Jaguar, it reminds me of an era of refinement and taste and subtlety of what you would see in like British suits out of that time, or a nice Brooks Brother cut or something like that. It's not a loose Italian cut; it's a really nice English cut suit. It's tasteful, it's tight. It all comes together well without being garish. Fantastic. So for the art, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. I don't think it really gets much better than that. If the board is better, it'd be good. The rule book gets 7 out of 10. The rules are all there. You might have to dig into a few sentences to find how you score exactly, like which piece has to be closer. I do wish there were player aids in it. I wish they used the back of the manual to be a player aid, if not a card for everybody. 7 out of 10. But overall, even with all the luck in the game, let's talk about the environment it creates. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is involved enough that you're engaged to make your decisions. It's fun enough because you will accidentally blow up your own plans and land on the Emperor. And it is light enough that you can still be jovial and have a good time with everybody else. For me, that's a great game and a reason it's going on the top shelf of my collection, okay? So that is Sakura. I actually recommend you get this one. I think it's fantastic on all levels, and I don't think you can go wrong, okay? It's probably my favorite Reiner Knizia game. I've liked a few others, but this takes the cake. All right, talk to you later, guys. Bye.